Citation 42404, cleared at the Wichita Airport via the Harry's 5 departure, Hector transition, then as filed. Climb and maintain 6,000, expect flight level 350, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.6, squawk 6135.
If you just heard that and your brain completely shut down, you're not alone. Listening to an IFR clearance via clearance delivery is one of those "we're not in Kansas anymore" moments for IFR students. I've been listening to students read these back for years from two different seats. I've been an air traffic controller at an en-route center, and I've also been the schmuck sitting right next to these students as their instructor as they're struggling to write down every single detail. Today, we're going to break this down in a way that sticks. This way, you're going to be able to listen to the complete clearance, write it all down, and be able to read it back in a way that makes it sound like you've been doing this for years. Let's get to it. An IFR clearance is your official authorization to fly in the National Airspace System. It isn't a request, it isn't a briefing, it's your legal authorization, and that matters. So why does picking up an IFR clearance feel so hard? So there's three reasons. The first one is speed. And the controller is a busy person. They have a lot of other pilots that they need to talk to, so they're not going to be able to slow down just for you. The second reason is density. There's a lot of information within that clearance. We've got your destination, your route, a couple different altitudes, a frequency, and a transponder code. And your brain is not wired to receive this much information in those 10 to 15 seconds, at least not yet. And then the third reason is pressure. You're sitting in a hot cockpit, your engine's running, that hob meter's clicking over. You've got your instructor staring at you. You've got all these other pilots listening in. That's a lot of pressure, and that makes things hard. So here's the good news. All three of these issues can be resolved with one easy trick, but we're going to get back to that in a moment. The framework that makes IFR clearances manageable is the 5-letter acronym CRAFT. Let's go through. So we start with C for your clearance limit. Generally, this is going to be your destination airport, but in some rare cases, it could be a fix not too far away from your departure airport. Then we have R for your route of flight. If the controller needs to assign you a specific departure procedure, any vectors, any airways, or anything else, they'll include that in the route. Then we have A for your altitude. This is going to be your initial assigned altitude, and then it will also include any expected altitudes later on. Next we have F for frequency. This is going to be the first frequency you're going to use after leaving either CTAF or tower. And then lastly, we have T for transponder, which is going to be your 4-digit squawk code that you'll enter into your transponder. Here's how to use it. Before you ever call up clearance delivery, you're going to write CRAFT down vertically on the left side of your kneeboard with plenty of space for each field. And then, as clearance delivery is reading you the clearance, you're just filling in the blanks. This way, you're always anticipating what the next element of your clearance is going to be. Let's do a full clearance together. I'm going to issue it the way a controller would, and then we'll break it down. So after calling up clearance delivery and saying you're ready to copy your clearance, they might reply with Cessna 472 Papa Bravo, Metro clearance. Cleared to the Casper Airport via after departure, fly heading 350, vectors to Gill VOR, then as filed. Climb and maintain 7,000, expect 12,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.1, squawk 3347. Now for your readback, here's what controllers want to hear from you. Cleared to the Casper Airport via after departure, fly heading 350, vectors to Gill VOR, then as filed. Climb maintain 7,000, expect 12,000, 10 minutes after departure. Frequency 126.1, squawk 3347, Cessna 472 Papa Bravo. Now you'll notice that I ended this readback with my call sign, which is great. Now, some people, if they wait for the end to say their call sign, they end up forgetting it. So if you need to start your readback with your call sign, that is absolutely acceptable. As long as you say your call sign in your readback, life is good. Now, for my time as an instructor teaching students to copy clearances, I've got a couple tips to share with you guys. So the first one is develop your own shorthand for copying clearances. For example, when you're cleared to 7,000 feet, for example, you don't want to waste time writing down 7000. What I do, for example, is I just do 7 and then the letter K to indicate that's 1,000. But come up with your own shorthand clearances. It doesn't have to be the same as anyone else as long as you can copy it down and read it back later. The next tip I want to share is if, as you're reading back your clearance, you either cannot read your own chicken scratch or you realize you forgot something, don't make up something. Just admit that, hey, I didn't get that squawk code. Can you read that back again? Is totally acceptable. If you try to fudge something, they're going to call you out and lose confidence in you. So just ask if you need some clarification. So the bummer with learning how to copy IFR clearances is you can't get better by reading about it. You can't get better by watching YouTube videos. You can only get better by repetition. Now, on each flight, you only get one shot. And like we've talked about, you're usually in a hot cockpit with your instructor staring at you and all this pressure. So I've built something to change this. This is the Air Traffic Control Clearance Trainer. It generates realistic IFR clearances and reads them to you. You practice copying them down, reading them back, and doing it over and over until it becomes automatic. No judgment, no pressure, no one waiting on the frequency. It has authentic air traffic control clearances delivered in a realistic controller voice. You can get instant feedback on your readback accuracy, completeness, and phraseology. You're never going to get the same clearance twice. New scenarios are generated continuously. It also includes a ground control practice mode if you want to work on taxi clearances, but the heart of it is built around IFR clearance delivery, which is where most instrument students need the most reps. The link is in the description. It's just repetition mode made accessible, which is the only thing that actually works. Whether you use the trainer or not, here's what I want you to walk away with today. Be sure to write down craft on your kneeboard before ever calling clearance delivery. Come up with your own shorthand techniques for copying down your clearances to make it brief. And lastly, when you practice, use your actual voice and say your readbacks out loud, not just in your head. It's going to come in handy when the pressure is real in the cockpit. If you found this helpful, please hit that subscribe button. I come out with lots of great content every week from both sides of the radio. Be sure to check out flight-levels.com and let me know where you are in your instrument training. Put a comment down below. Remember, don't just fly, climb to the flight levels.